James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy VT, and I came here to talk with the thousands of the True School Sports subscribers.
All right, so it's officially Anthony Joshua fight week. He's fighting Daniel Dubois, and I wanted to really go a little deeper about AJ. You know, Anthony Joshua is a fighter that he's been around for a long time. I've made a lot of Anthony Joshua content over the years and videos. He's low key, believe it or not. And here's Johnny.
Yeah.
You want to sit down?
Yeah.
He's low key one of my favorite fighters, Anthony Joshua. And I'm happy to see him in the ring. I'm happy to see that he's turned his career around in a great and major way. Since the second loss to Usyk, he's got three knockouts, 4 wins, 3 knockouts. And he's seen to strike a good partnership with Ben Davison. But this is a big fight for him. You know, it's his chance to now become a 3-time heavyweight champion, and it's a chance for him to, you know, really stick his flag back on the ground, because a lot of people think that the best Anthony Joshua is right now, the more matured Anthony Joshua, the maturation that he has mentally and IQ wise and with all the experience he has. People think he's the best version of himself right now. So this video is about, is Anthony Joshua actually in his prime?
And I think this fight is a rivalry fight.
It is.
He's British too.
Yeah, it's a big British title fight. Big showdown. Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
We all know about Wembley Stadium. Shout out to Carl Froch. They're doing 96,000 for this fight.
80,000, just like somebody I know.
80,000 like me. 80,000 at Wembley for Carl Froch. 80,000 here at True School Sports. But
Wembley of boxing.
Exactly. But Anthony Joshua is 34 years old, and let me explain something to the boxing fans out there, okay? Heavyweights don't age like most fighters. They generally tend to mature and age later in their careers. So you may not get the best version of a heavyweight fighter until they're 33, 34, 35. Anthony Joshua right now at this present moment is 34 years old. So we're gonna find out if he's really in his prime this fight, because I'll tell you like this. Dan Dubois may not be 34. He may not have the experience Anthony Joshua has as far as fights and the amount of names, but he's packed a lot into his career in a very short time. From the Joe Joyce fight, where his eye got closed and he quit.
Some people thought he stopped the undisputed.
I thought he stopped Usyk and they robbed him blatantly, but that's another. You know, we already talked about that in the past. He beat Jarrell Miller. He even broke my heart in devastating fashion. He beat my boy Filip Hrgovic, who I know is a very good fighter, even though he seems to not fully get the most out of himself in the ring, which I have my theories about. But he's really, in my opinion, I think Don Charles and him have also struck a very good partnership. And he's gonna take Anthony Joshua to some deep, dark places. I think we're gonna see if Anthony Joshua really is in his prime this fight.
I'll tell you one thing, Joshua better not get hit with nothing stupid.
Yeah, because one thing about Dubois got bludgeoning, like thudding power. I mean, this guy, and what Dubois with Don Charles, I gotta say this about Dubois with Don Charles. He's been a guy that had a reputation for being very soft early in his career. He's gotten really, really mean. He's starting to really fight like be a big, imposing, behemoth heavyweight that God created him to be. So
everything they said that Daniel Dubois was going to become and how he was going to be. This is the fight where he's going to have to show it.
He's going to have to show it.
Because I feel like he was always in the shadows of an Anthony Joshua. So now...
No, not even Anthony Joshua. I mean, Fury, even Joe Joyce for some years. Because remember, before Joe Joyce started getting his ass whooped by like Derek Chisora and Zhang, Joe Joyce was looked at to be one of the best heavyweight contenders in the world. So
this is a time for him to like fully come out of that shadow, even though he's obviously the champion. It's time for him to fully come out of that shadow. And for somebody like Joshua, like I feel like the start of his career, like where he really took off, was when he fought for the IBF title against
Klitschko or Charles Martin.
And Charles Martin. And I feel like that was like when his career started. And I feel like if he can put up a performance something like that, which will be very hard, but if he does, I feel like that could be a rebirth of his career.
I'm gonna tell you like this: Anthony Joshua got a great track record at Wembley Stadium. He's a king of Wembley Stadium. The classic Klitschko fight was there. Joseph Park fight was pretty trash, but it was there too. In my opinion, his best performance of his career from start to finish was
the Joseph Parker fight was in Wales.
Was it in Wales?
Yeah,
You're right. Principality Stadium, Wales. Thank you, Johnny. And but no, the best performance of his career, I'm pretty sure it was at Wembley. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Was Alexander Povetkin. I thought that was the best Joshua from start to finish in any fight, and I think he's actually been able to fight like more like that guy under Ben Davison. Ben Davison has seemed to, because Ben Davison's popular for like film studying. They do a lot of film study, which is very great because we here at Team Leo, we do a lot of film study too, so we understand the value of it. But yeah, I think Anthony Joshua, like just watching him these last couple of fights against Valine and Helenius and Ngannou and these kind of guys, I'm just seeing a guy that he knows who he is and he's fighting like it. He's not trying to box too much. He's sitting down on his punches. He's got balance on his shots. He's not like going to the left or to the right. He's punching with bad intentions, and he's committing. He's really committing to his shots, which was a big issue for him because if you guys remember, before Anthony Joshua even fought, I think it was Andy Ruiz. Just before he fought Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua hired a sports psychologist because even going into that Ruiz fight, there were some things mentally that weren't going right with him because you got to put yourself in his shoes. This guy is literally the golden boy of British boxing. Like this guy Anthony Joshua won the gold medal in the Olympics in London. Yeah. So he's had pressure on his back from day one to perform. And
one thing I think is
last thing though, the pressure just seems like now that ever since the second Usyk loss, the pressure seems like it's not there, and that's why I think he's fighting with more of a freedom and in a more destructive fashion. Go ahead.
Like you're saying, he's fighting with a freedom in a more destructive fashion, but I have a little bit of a different take. I actually think that the thing was that Joshua, it wasn't that he was struggling to find himself, it was that he wasn't able to be himself. And I think that going into something like that, I feel like now that he's got some losses, he was too worried about those losses, and I just think
perception.
I just think he's got that mentality like, I already got these losses, I lost. That's why he had that little breakdown with Usyk. He's like, fuck good boxing. And he said, I just think he's got the mentality of like, you know what? I don't care if I lose, I don't care if I win. I'm still Anthony Joshua, so I think he's more comfortable in his own skin, and he's going in there, and I think he's going in there to try to do a job one day.
I like the Brits say, to do a job. Yeah. But look, you mentioned I like what you said because it actually it kind of highlights something I used to say about Anthony Joshua back in those days when he was undefeated and he was on top. He couldn't be himself. I feel like he had a lot of commercial sponsorships, a lot of people watching him. The whole British boxing is on his shoulders. The whole pressure and the dreams, the aspirations of the UK boxing is on his shoulders. And I think they'd ask him questions, and when he'd answer the question, he'd always give like the politically correct answer. He kind of reminded me like in baseball of Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter used to always give you the PC answers. Anthony Joshua always give the PC answers, and you kind of knew that's not really who he was,
I personally believe the real always outdoes the fake. Like, for example, even somebody like, this has nothing to do with them, but somebody like Ryan Garcia having like that personality being shown, and I feel like trying to be something that you're not, even going into a fight, it has like, it can make you doubt yourself.
It can have some consequences.
More of yourself, like the one that fought Devin Haney, that's the real Ryan Garcia, and that's what showed out. And I think that now Anthony Joshua is more of himself, and I think he's going to show more of himself. And he's confident in himself.
There you go. And so the winner of this fight, obviously it's going to move the needle in the UK for boxing. I think it'll actually wind up moving the needle in boxing in general because, it's a good heavyweight fight for a title. The winner of this fight puts himself in a prime position to challenge for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. So,
would you like, for example, like I know Usyk and Fury are fighting. Would you like the loser of this fight to fight the loser of that fight, and then the winner of that fight to fight the winner?
I like that. But it's funny to me though because like I've always been a big Usyk fan, but I don't want to see Usyk against Joshua in a third fight if Joshua is to win this fight, and I don't want to see a Usyk versus DuBois rematch. I don't want to see any of those fights. That's how good Usyk is. Usyk already conquered all these guys. Yeah. But in a perfect world, right? If we're talking about the fight I like to see the most, I would like Joshua to beat DuBois. And I would like Joshua to fight Tyson Fury because they have a lot of history. There's a lot of business there to deal with. But what I think is gonna happen is I think AJ will probably win this fight. But I just think Usyk has Fury's number.
He's fighting on a Riyadh card, right?
Who? Joshua? Yes.
Don't you think that? Even though he had a draw, don't you think that Andy Ruiz can come back and they can maybe do something?
Come back and do what?
Maybe fight.
No. Andy Ruiz, I like him, but I think the harsh reality is Andy Ruiz was a flash in the pan, and he didn't have the discipline or the dedication to mix it at the top level.
And I know you're a Philip Hergovich guy.
That's my guy. That's still my guy. I still think Philip Hergovich will be the champion.
Do you think he can fight the winner, or would you like to see him fight the winner, or give him a few
No,
wins?
I'd rather see Philip Hergovich get back right. I was just watching him today, and technically, there's some technical things he needs to really clean up. Technically, and even like what I'm starting to realize with Hergovich is that because he's having a pattern of performances in his fights, I think he's one of those guys that overtrains himself in the gym and leaves the best pieces of himself in the gym, because the Philip Hergovich that I've seen in the gym that I hype up is normally not the guy that I've been seeing in the Zhang fight and the Dubois fight. So I'd like to see him really get some things in his career right and mentally right, and win a fight or two and then get a big fight.
I thought about something. What about Bacoli
Versus Hergovich?
against Hergovich or any of the winners? Anything. Put him in there.
I mean,
How would you put him in the mix?
I love Phil Hergovich, but I don't even think he's ready for that kind of fight yet.
How would you put someone? What about
I'm thinking more like Guido Vianello.
or they had some.
I'm thinking like Guido Vianello, something like that.
They had some sort of beef. So
Jared Anderson. But I was saying, like, I'm thinking more like Guido Vianello. You mentioned Jared Anderson. They have a lot of history, so that the Guido Vianello, Jared Anderson, even like maybe like a Makhmudov, but I think he's so shy. He don't even like that. Wouldn't do anything for him. But Vianello, Jared Anderson, something like that, and we'll see. But yeah, to answer the question of this video, yes or no, is Anthony Joshua in his prime right now?
I believe so, and I think he'll show it this fight.
I think Anthony Joshua is in the prime of his career.
He just can't get hit with us.
But I'll be honest with you, I also think Dan Dubois is in the prime of his career. I think Dubois accelerated the prime of his career just from the amount of hard fights he took.
Yeah.
Joyce, Usyk, Hergovich,
Do you think
Miller.
do you think the experience level is actually pretty similar between both? Because
No, Anthony Joshua has much more big fight experience.
Yeah.
Dubois never walked out in front of 90,000 at Wembley.
How long has Joshua been boxing for?
He turned pro in 2013, I think.
No, like amateur wise, everything.
I know he was in the 2012 Olympics. Dubois, I don't believe was an Olympian. I could be wrong, but I don't think he was an Olympian.
No, I know he wasn't. But how old was Dubois?
Dubois started fighting when he was like 8, and I know Joshua started following about boxing when he was like a teenager.
So I know he has more big fight experience, but that's what I'm saying.
You're saying muscle memory wise?
Muscle memory wise, do you think the experience factor could actually be pretty even?
He might be right.
Because for example, somebody that started boxing a little later is, Bernal Lopez, and one of our good
Our friends, Angelio, what he did, what he did to him. Started boxing young, so this could be like that, or yeah.
I don't think the experience is going to be that big of a factor. I think it's just going to be who's the better fighter.
Well, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you guys think about Anthony Joshua. Is he in his prime? What do you think about what Johnny's said about the experience? Who wins this fight? What kind of chance you give Dubois? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.